For those of you who may not know me completely, my name is Nikolaj Petersen. I am 23 years old, and in the last 3 years I've had a turnover of 17 million across my brands. I've had over 8 different profitable ecom brands, and in January 2024 I sold 2 of my largest ever ecom stores, Scandinavian Rest and Fine Smile, for a double-digit million amount. Now, I know you're here for a reason. You're here because you want to learn more about e-commerce or maybe even change the current situation in your life. But the raw truth is that most people today, most of you watching, are lacking one simple trait that limits you from succeeding: focus. If you can't focus for at least 1 hour straight, well, then you're not able to make this work. It is that simple. And that's also why I want to challenge you to do it now. Try and see what happens when you simply, for 1.5 hours, put all of your focus in one place and treat this as the actual education that it is. Put this video on your desktop, remove your phone and pull up a notepad while I go through all of these gems with you. But before we continue, why should you trust me? In theory, it is easy for me to just sit here and say those numbers without any proof. Therefore, I brought something for you. These are documents made and authorized by a state chartered accountant and lawyer in Denmark. And in fact, this annual report here is public in Denmark. You can simply look up my name and see my actual numbers, meaning there's no way for me to sit here and tell lies. And for good measure, here's my backend of my largest ecom stores. Combine that with the largest news media and TV channels in Scandinavia, who of course also have verified my numbers before publishing anything about me. With that out of the way, e-commerce has completely changed my life. It has been the main reason why I can now live my life the way I want to, and more importantly, take care of those around me. I recently helped my mom quit her job and plan to do the same with my dad shortly, so they can spend their lives as they please. My largest goal, without a doubt, in general, is to take care of them and my brother, and trust me when I say I'm going to reach that goal soon. I've made countless mistakes though in my ecom journey, such as quality check, issues with my 3PL, my supply chain, my cash flow, my brand strategy, my exit. But in this one single video, I'll show you how you can get around all of those mistakes. With all that said, let's just get started. To succeed with ecom, you need to solve 3 pillars, which is the product, the website and the ads. And in this single video, I'll share something for free that I never thought I would. I'll share my entire framework on how I use systems and methods to nail each pillar to 10 out of 10. Without luck, without guessing around, with a proven blueprint. Most importantly though, to show you how incredible these methods work. I'll build an entire store in front of your eyes and launch it with you. For one simple reason: to prove for a fact that with the correct steps, everyone can succeed with this. Don't you believe me? Just take a look at these people. They have all created ecom stores and brands that provide them with more financial freedom. Magnus and Victor went from no experience with e-commerce and made 250,000 euros in 3 months after applying this framework. Aya had 0 experience with e-commerce, but now she's making around 100,000 euros per month 6 months after applying this framework. Benjamin even started with 300 euros in his bank account and made 60,000 euros in a few months after applying this framework. Sindram also had no experience with e-commerce and made 30,000 euros in just 2.5 months after applying this framework. And many more success cases among over 400 students who applied this framework and have made insane results and a full-time living from e-commerce after a few months. If a successful e-com store is 100%, well then the product makes up at least 50% of that 100% equation. That's how important and crucial the product is. So before I show you how to find the product using my methods, I want to clarify the most common mistake that people don't succeed with e-com do. They never test a product that fits the criteria I'll share with you now. So why am I telling you this? Well, it is to tell you that while the product is crucial, the worst thing you can possibly do to yourself is getting stuck in the searching phase for products. You perhaps know it from yourself. You know you want to get started with a business or a project, but never do. Why? It's because you're over-analyzing everything instead of focusing on the basics and then moving forward. I'm not saying here that you should go for a bad product, but it is definitely, without a doubt, better to test a bad product than not to test anything at all. Because by testing something, you will actually move forward. So, if you're following this training, set a limit to yourself of spending at max 5 days looking for a product and then move forward. With that out of the way, let's go. What are we looking for when researching new potential products? What do all the profitable ecom brands I personally know have in common? It is these 3 features that we will use as our navigational map for finding products in a systemized way, not by chance, and I'll prove it to you. First and foremost, they've got a margin of at least 3x. That means the sales price of the product is at least 3 times higher than the purchase price at the supplier. And why is this crucial? Because it gives you profit to work with. So how do we determine this? Well, for the sales price of a product, you'll take a look at the competitors or similar products in your space and place your sales price close to that. As for the purchase price, the cost of goods, you'll simply ask your supplier. If you're in SWE, you can use our template and they'll give you the best price automatically. Secondly, a sales price of at least 65 euros. Why? Because if we've got the first criteria in place, a sales price above 65 euros gives us enough profit in cash per product sold to aggressively promote our product with ads. Thirdly, you want there to be proof of concept, POC, and you want there to be room for improvement, RFI. So how do you analyze that? For POC, proof of concept, we simply take a look at whether there's already someone else doing well with that particular product. Most times, if you follow my methods, there will be POC. And you can analyze whether someone is doing well with either my softwares or simply by looking at their Trustpilot or ads library. I'll show you how in a bit. Then you want there to be RFI, room for improvement. And this is the most important element. Because we don't just want to blindly pick a product. We want to see someone doing well with it and see that we can do it better than the business already doing well. That way we can outperform the competitor. It's that simple. This is the core thing I did and it made me 17 million euros. And it's what Magnus, my best friend, did, who made 150,000 euros in his first days with a new ecom brand this year by following our framework. He's going in full time on his brand now. There's absolutely no reason, if you're new to this, to make this difficult for yourself. Other people have already done the hard work for you by testing products and figuring out what's working. And this is your luck. This is not a downside, because by analyzing whether there's RFI, you can use this to your advantage. And from this point, you'll hopefully see how clearly that this is simply all I do. I see what's working from others and I then do it better, both when it comes to the website and the ads later. So how do you analyze whether there's room for improvement? Well, you take a look at all the aspects of the competitors selling that product. And you check their website, you check their Trustpilot and their ads, and you decide, can you do it better than the competitor in any of these areas? Let me be honest, most times if you're following my framework, you actually can. So let's keep all of that in the back of our mind while we start to search for products. And let me now show you how I systemized find a new winning product while explaining all of this to you. There's really 2 methods I recommend for finding the best possible products. You can use the software TrendRocket, which I love, and there's a link below this video which you can click to get a free trial. Emma, Benjamin, Sindram, and Magnus and Victor found their product this way, and they've made plus 500,000 euros collectively in the past 4 months. The second method you can use is my preferred method, but it's also way more advanced. It's called Open Your Eyes. So what does this mean? This is what Aya, Magnus, Mikkel did, and it made them collectively over 2 million euros in the past 6 months. Alright, so here we are within TrendRocket. Now this is an incredible software, and it is because it has a lot of high quality products. As mentioned, a lot of my students have found their perfect product in here. So let me now do a walkthrough for you. So we've got two tabs that I like to use. One is the trending brands and another is the products. You can click on them here and get a lot of ideas. And what's most cool about this is that a lot of these products actually fit the above criteria I just mentioned for you. Therefore, I strongly recommend you to go in here and get some inspiration no matter what. As you can see, there are a lot of good options in here, such as this shower head. It's a really cool product. There's these blackout curtains here, an ice bear, beanbag, a head shaver kit, a period cramp relief device. There's a lot of unique products with a new angle. And please just remember here, we don't have to invent anything new. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to take what's already working, take it to a new market, and then improve upon it. So if this was me going in and finding a new product, I would open up all the products that I would find interesting. You can actually see the recommended price point here even, which makes it extremely easy for you to find products that fit our criteria. A product like this is actually in the same niche that Magnus and Victor had, and that's a niche that have enabled them to quit their previous jobs, and now they are full-time going all in on their ecom brand in Copenhagen. And all of these are established brands also, so we know there's that POC. I of course personally as well love sleep products. That's what I built one of my largest ecom brands on, Scandinavian Rest, which did over 10 million euros. A device like this, which is more in the beauty niche, is also great. That's another niche where a lot of my members have made a lot of money because people love buying beauty products. And it's also a niche where I've made over 5 million euros with my brand Fine Smile, which I also sold. So what I would do is I would open up the ones in another tab here that I find interesting. I think these two are cool. Just be honest with yourself here. Consider, have you seen these products before? Are they unique and do they fit the criteria? Open up the blackout curtain. The shower head, I like that a lot as well. I think those are 4 very, very good products that I just found from the get-go here. Like I spent 2 minutes. I can find so many other products down here. And we know these are products that actually work for other people. So that's TrendRocket. You can also use my preferred method, but it is more advanced. So let me explain to you how you can approach Open Your Eyes. And it is a more abstract method. With that said, it is just as systemized and as proven, if not more, than using softwares, because this is the most bulletproof way you can use of finding those 10 out of 10 products. So what do? Well, it is as the word entails, you take a look at everything around you. You simply open your eyes and you become aware of the ecom space around you. And that's what enables you to get extreme success and growth within a short time period. Let me give you an example. One thing I did with this method initially was I became aware of all the ads, all the ecom products I saw naturally on a day-to-day basis. Because let's be honest, you're faced with thousands and thousands of ads from ecom products every single week. So by simply becoming aware of them and naturally interested, you will soon be able to find that perfect product. And you can even tailor your feeds on Facebook and Instagram more towards that. Let me now show you how you can do that. So if you go onto Facebook here and just start scrolling, you can see right away, this is an ecom ad. This is a product that does well for someone else. There is already that proof of concept, POC, because you know for a fact if somebody is advertising their product, well, then they are making money with it. So one thing you can do to tailor your feed to get more of these products when you come across them is to go and engage with the ad. So what I would do is I would like it. I would even click on learn more, and I would even go into the competitor here on their actual site, and I would click on add to cart. For some reason it's loading slow here, but you get the point. So I would continue to scroll, see if we come across other interesting ads. Right off the bat, we find another one that's interesting. Let's click on it, see what it is. And I would just continue to do this. I haven't set this up, but not gonna lie, this is the perfect product. I actually went into the studio today and I said, yeah, I hope I better find some good products. And this just goes to show how incredibly good this method is. Because in my opinion, this product here, which I'll explain in a bit, it fits the criteria of the margin, of the sales price and of the POC and RFI. And so while you might look at this product and think, wow, they've done a good job, I think that as well, but I know for a fact that there isn't anyone in Denmark selling this product. Then there's a lot of room for improvement if there isn't even a competitor in Denmark selling this product. So seemingly this is a product that vacuums your food to then make it last longer. It has a lot of angles of how you can sell it. And so while this is an incredible product, we can look on just to give you a sense of what's to come. There's another product here, really interesting as well. Down here, another product. Let's see what this is. So you can see, like, from the get-go here, I've already found like 5 to 8 interesting products, and either one of these would be fine to move on with. But of course, it is about finding the one that we believe the most in. So these are some more high-end custom furniture. We don't want to do that for now. You can easily see how many products I get served here. And that's simply because for the past 2 weeks, I've simply tailored my feed a bit. Every time I've come across a good ecom product, I've liked it. And I've went into it and clicked add to cart to tell Facebook that, hey, I want to see more of this. And you can do the same on Instagram and on TikTok. So that's one of the approaches in the open your eyes way. Another is simply to be very aware of everything around you. I've personally stumbled across products sometimes by seeing them in a local supermarket and knowing, hey, we can improve upon this, and thinking that it was unique, it would fit all of my criteria, but we could make it different. So let's just continue. Let's see what this is. This product here again, it is a great example of it. So these are tables, very interesting as well. I think, in my opinion, this isn't unique enough, unfortunately. So maybe let's keep scrolling a bit, see if we can find someone else. And now you can actually see I get served a lot of furniture ads because I engage with the above too. All right, another product here. Nordic gear, and you can actually see they've got great engagement on the ad, a lot of comments, and actually a fun ad as well. They've even got the logo on the product, and that tells me that they are doing well. You can also see it on their site, like, this is a good site, and therefore I know this product is doing well. So I don't want to make this seem too easy, but really, as you hopefully can tell, it actually is. It's just a matter of tailoring your feed, saving when you come across some products. Just be aware of it also in your everyday life. Give yourself these 5 days, scroll on your phone, but every time you come across something interesting, write it down in your notes. And then suddenly, after a couple of days, you will have a list of at least 10 products which you can pick and choose from. So once you've found all of your products, the next step is to analyze all of them and compare them with each other. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'll take you with me in the process. But before we do this, remember, we need to pick one. We want to move forward. We want to learn more, and we want to become better. We don't want to be stuck in this research process for a product. Because if there's anything that people have in common who don't succeed, well, it is that they don't start. They analyze so much that they never get anything done. So find your top 5 like I did and pick one. Move on. All right? So we've got 5 different products here. First things first, I really like this product. I think it is very cool. It's seemingly a shower head that cleans water. These are blackout curtains, but it has been marketed very nicely, I think. This is a period cramp relief device as well. It looks very solid. This shaver here, also solid. A lot of good content for it, actually. And then finally, the first product I came across. So in my opinion here, all of these products are very good. And it's actually difficult for me to pick one. So what I'll do is I'll simply pick the one that I think I can get most people easily to buy, which is probably this head shaver kit, because it has a very large mass market. It's quite unique. It's quite basic. But I think if we market it properly, it can work very well. You see, that was my analysis. It took me 1 minute. And I know I've got more experience than you, of course. I'm not saying this is easy, but I'm saying that you have to be quick in your actions and you want to move forward. All right. Do you remember I said that the product was 50% of the reason why people succeed? Well, next up is the website, and that's 20% of that equation. And that's because you can actually just follow an incredible proven method and a step-by-step action plan here to ensure that your site, well, it is 10 out of 10. There's really no magic here. Just follow me while I now take you through the process. First and foremost, we want to find a name for the store. Therefore, I want to go directly onto GoDaddy.com and I want to start searching for words that describe my product. I always love making my name either with a location plus a product word, such as Scandinavian Rest or Fine Smile or Lights Copenhagen, or to just find something creative. Something that really doesn't mean anything. There is no right or wrong here. Just keep it simple and move on. Buy the domain when you found it. So let me now show you how I would go about finding the perfect name for this product. I really like actually what the competitor did. Their name was Groomy, and I think that's a great example of just being creative with finding a word that's describing the product but adding something onto it. Though in order to buy our perfect domain, we need to decide on what country we're going to be targeting. This right here, it might be one of my largest ecom secrets, and it's what all of my members do. We find POC and RFI on ecom brands in other places in the world, and we take it to local countries in Europe, such as Denmark. It creates incredible trust when both your domain and your site is local, and trust is one of the most crucial parts about having an ecom brand. The above is what enabled me to create so many brands so easily, and it's what enabled someone like Syndram to do 30,000 euros in 3 months. So let's now go on to GoDaddy and find our name. I'm going to be running this brand in Denmark, so I think adding something like a city would be very cool. I know something like Copenhagen is quite respected internationally, so maybe we could pick something like Copenhagen Grooming .dk, see if that's available. So that's taken. You can see that it is actually available with a dash, but in my opinion, I would also prefer to have a name that's a bit smaller with fewer letters. So maybe we could say Copenhagen Trim. Copenhagen Trim.dk is actually available, and I think that's a great name. Actually, it is exactly what I showed you. It is a city, a location, and then a word that describes the product. So I'll just click on here and buy it, and then we move forward. Then it's time for us to do the logo. So let's go into Canva to do this. Now keep this very simple and minimalistic once again. You don't want to have too much stuff in your logo. The ugliest logos I've seen are the logos that try to do too much. Keep it simple. Write your product name and play with the fonts and the sizes. Maybe use one icon from flaticon.com, which is basically a platform where you can find a lot of different drawings and icons for different things. And maybe in there you can find one that symbolizes your product. But then that's it. I prefer not even having an icon from Flaticon. And most importantly, keep your entire logo black. I can't stress this enough if you're a beginner. There is no need to try and make this difficult for yourself. Stick to what's working for other people like me, then move on. So let me show you how I like to go about creating my logos. So let's go into Canva here. Let's click on create a design, click on the logo. And now it's time for us to make our logo. One of the coolest things out here is that you can see they have a lot of symbols and different styles. Click on business logo and you'll get a bunch of options. And then you scroll, see if you can find something you like. I think I like this one down here. So now you can see the text is here and we can actually just click on this and we could write Copenhagen. Actually, I think we would want to write trim here instead and then Copenhagen here. I would remove this one. And this could be our logo, something like this. And I think that wouldn't be a bad option. I would also just remove the background here. And I actually like this. What I like even more though is to just take a text, a font like this, and then write our name like so. And then make one of the sections bold in some way, and I think we possibly can. Seems we can make this bold, so I'll just pick another font, to be honest. Now, in my opinion, we've got a great looking logo here. I just want to make it a bit larger. I think this is cool. Maybe like one thing we could do is we could do like this, boom, and just do it like this. Yeah, I think this makes it a bit shorter. Place it in the center of the document, make it as large as you can, because the larger you make your text, the better quality it becomes. And then the main thing I would probably just play with would be like the text out here. I love using Poppins as well. That's a font I've used for a lot of my brands. It's often very clean. I think it's a go-to font if you can't decide. And I think with that we've got a great looking logo here, and we can now move forward. So click up here on share, click on download, and then click here where it says transparent background. Canva will require that you've got a paid subscription with them, but you can simply click on this, get a free 30-day trial and download it. You can quit the plan anytime, and then you've got a great looking logo very simply. Now it's time for us to make the actual site. But to make the site we need two things. We need text and we need images. So how do we get those? Well, text is very simple. We use Shopify's AI tool or write it ourselves by taking a look at the brands with the initial POC that we found. Remember that I told you we want to take what's working from other brands and improve upon it? This is one of those areas. There is no way to try and invent everything from the get-go here again. Just take a look at what's working from everyone else and then improve upon it. As for the images, which is the most crucial part of your site, well, you've got two options. Either you find it online with your supplier. They always approve you can use their content copyright free. If you're more risky, you can take images from a competitor in the testing phase only, but that's your call. I really can't sit here and recommend the latter to you. But let me just say that a lot of people do that. Or you order home the product and create some simple images yourself. This will also give you complete freedom when we later make the ads. In general, the images and videos for your product is the final 30% of the 100% equation, because it will also become your ads later on. So it is crucial to have good content here. In general, I've never seen one of my students or another ecom brand in general for that sake work when using bad content. So you want to be honest with yourself here and find actually good content, one way or the other. And if you're not aware of which of the two above options you should do, then you want to first analyze the content you can find online and decide whether it's in high enough quality and whether there's enough images and videos for it. You want at least 10 good images and 2 videos for a product. If you can't get that online, then you want to order home one sample and take your own images with your iPhone. And trust me, you don't need to be a photographer to do this. Just very simply place the product in different locations and take photos of it. It's fine if it looks homemade. That simply makes it authentic and creates trust. So now I'll also do some homework and talk to my supplier first and foremost to see whether they've got good content. Once all of that is done, then it's time for us to build our website with all of the previously mentioned elements. But before we move forward to building our site, there's something quite incredible that I want to share with you. Below this video, I've linked to a free great theme that you can use to build your first site. This theme will be fine for you. But let me just say that the theme I'll be using is something I've personally developed and split tested on 15 million euros and optimized for 15,000 euros in pure developer costs. And it is the same theme that all our SWE members get for free. This theme here, it is literally your shortcut to having a site with no mistakes. You simply can make a bad site using this theme if you've got good content. With that said, of course you can make it work with this theme I've linked to down below, but let me just say it will be way easier for you with this one. And this is also of course the one I'll be using. It's time to create our website. Now, how do we make this 10 out of 10? Well, for those of you who've got the SWE theme, simply follow along. For those of you who haven't, you can still implement a lot of the steps and recommendations I give you here. So let's get to it. First, click customize. Obviously, one of the first things we want to do is go in here and then of course add our logo. Click up here in header and menus and add it. You can simply drag and drop your images into here to add them. So do that with your logo, I just did. And then we want to take some of the largest decisions for our brand now, which is the typography and the color. And mostly this should depend on the competitor you found with proof of concept. So as an example, you can see that these guys, they have orange. I have picked an orange color out here that's similar as well. And then up here in the header, of course, we also want to change that. And then we've got a very different branded feel all of a sudden. Simply changing the colors of your site can do a huge difference. All right, let's continue. As for the font, I love using either basic commercial or something as Poppins. Now, as you know, we made our logo with Poppins, so I think it's fitting that we also use it for our font on our site here. Make sure to change that both places. Boom. Make sure it looks good. And then we can continue, okay? So first things first, we want to add our hero, which is the top section of the page. As you saw, these guys, in my opinion, they had an incredible one. And luckily for us, our supplier actually provided us with the same video, so I just think we should use the same. It works very well. You want to have something here that showcases your product in a very simple yet effective way. So to do so, I'll scroll down, I'll click Add Section. And then I want to find Video Hero. Boom, that's the one. Drag it up to the top. Boom, like so. Then let's just hide this one down below. And then we want to add the video here. As you can see, they either need YouTube or MP4. You can actually upload it into Shopify. If you go into Content, Files. Let's see. So take the URL and insert it over here. And you can see now we've got our video here. It looks, pretty good. Then we want to add something about what does our product do. This right here, it's one of the most important titles of your entire site. Once again, to determine what we should write, I want to go onto the competitor and see what are they writing. So let's go into their page here and see kind of what sentences they are using. 0 effort, smooth results. I think that's solid. Let's see how it looks. So it's a bit too large, so let me just scale it down and then we can write something. A quick caveat here as I start writing all of the text. To educate all of you, I'm doing this in English. But afterwards, when I finish the site with you here in English, then I'll actually go ahead and translate everything into Danish. I think you all remember what I just said previously about the fact that we want to have a local domain in a local language. It's the same here, but for translation's sake and for the learning curve for you guys, I think you'll get more out of it if I write this in English than in Danish. So I love to write something about the product here and then down below an explanation. So what we could write down here, something about our social proof. Something like the most popular head shaving kit in Denmark, or we could even write something used on the go, like plus 10,000 other males. Something like that, I think that would be very cool. All right. Then for the button, we always want this to say shop now, and of course we want to point it into our product page, but we haven't created our product page yet, so this is a fitting time to do so. So let's go into Shopify, click on products, add product. Now it's time for us to create our title of it. Once again, we want to see what are these guys doing. Number 1, head and face shaver kit. I don't like that title that much. I think we'll write Copenhagen head shaver kit because our name is Copenhagen Trim. And then if you really want to spice it up, what you can do is you can add some of these icons here. You can either add the R or the TM or the C. I think for us, I'll add this one just because it looks good. Boom, done. Now, of course, we also want to set our price point down here. So what should this product cost? Once again, you guessed it, let's see what the other guys are selling it for. So these guys are selling it for around 60 euros. As you remember, I always want my price point to be at least that 65 euros. So now I'll actually set it at 65 euros. Just because I think their price point here is actually kind of fair, but we still want to be at minimum of that 65 euros. Now this is once again in krona. I'll translate it to krona later. For now, let's just pretend everything is in euros here. And I always like to have a comparison price, but please don't make it as aggressive as these guys who have made it with a 70% off sales. We just want something 20-30%. So I'll write 99 euros and then I'll click save. Alright, then it's time for us to add our images. And this is actually a great time of discussing image ratios. So what do I mean by that? Let me explain to you. Look, if I were to just add all of these images in here, like most people probably would, then our product page would look something like this. Let's go into it now and you can see that, okay, one very big image and then this one Can you see how it switched aspect ratio here? We don't want that. And this is also way too large. We always want our product images to be what's called 1:1, which means that they have the same width as height. You can either go in and just crop this on your computer, or you can use Canva as previously mentioned. Okay, let's continue. I've now cropped all of our images, and let me just grab them here and take them into our product page. And hopefully now you'll see how large of a difference it makes to the entire feel of the site that the aspect ratio has been considered. It makes a large difference. So I'll just drag this up here. We always want this to be on the front, then some happy customers using the products, and maybe we'll actually do it like this, I think. Boom. So the products, the features, the before and after, and then happy customers. Boom. Now when you go over here, you should hopefully see it has a totally different feel. A lot more proof of concept here, which is incredible. All right, so let's continue. I really don't like that this is on a separate line, so I want to check if we can do anything here to shorten it. Since we actually don't have the kit part of it yet, let me just remove that. Another thing is you can probably see up here that we just have this basic globe, whereas Groomie have their icon. We want that as well, so the way you do that is you go into here and you find where it says Fav icon, and then you can upload it. So what I'll just do is I'll just grab all of our content here. I'll just make a duplicate of our logo, and I'll just open this up, and then I think our C will just be our kind of, and we just want to make sure it has the same aspect ratio, 190 by 190, you see? Boom, crop it. Done, we click save, and we drag it to over here. Then once that's done, you will see that up here it says AC. It should be obvious to you that these are the small steps you can take to really increase the perceived value and the brand level of your store. All right, let's continue. So now since we've created our product, we can actually make sure that this button here, it points towards it. And now we can get to all of the fun stuff. Up here, I love having a Trustpilot icon. You can see here, I love having it say that we're a Danish company. And then just add our phone number up here. For now, I'll just add something random. Or you could write customer service. You could write something like 8 till 16 customer service. So that's where you can call them or something probably. All right, so we'll need to add our icons up here. And you can both add an emoji up here to kind of show what your brand is, such as where it says Danish company. It would be great adding a Danish emoji here. Boom, you see. Where it says customer service, maybe we'll add a phone like this. And where it says excellent, we could both add a star, but I prefer actually adding a Trustpilot icon. So look at this now. Let's save. And let's always remember to switch up here between desktop and mobile to see kind of where it looks perfect. And it does on both sides right now. We obviously want to add something up here. I love having something about a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Or you could add something like save 15% right now. Okay. Let's click save. For this section down here, we want to add some icons. And where do we find them? We go to flat icon. This is the go-to page for finding icons. It is incredible. So let's search for a keyword that's similar to our brand here, such as bald actually. And you can see there's a lot of icons. The main thing here is we want to find icons that have the correct style as to what we want. You can actually see it looks like here somebody is using a trimmer. That's exactly what we want. For now, I'll download it. And then what you want to do, once you found one icon you really like, then you want to click on the style down here, because we want icons in the same style. So click on special lineal here, and then you can see all of their styles are in here. So now we want to find similar icons that could showcase some of our features, such as our satisfaction guarantee, that we're a Danish company, we're loyal, we've got happy customers, etc., etc., etc. So let me now go in and take a look at some of these. You see there's all kind of icons in here for dentists, for wildlife. We can even search over here. Maybe we could search for ecom. There's a lot of icons in here we can use. I like the truck. We can talk about our delivery time. Then let's have this one down here as well. That's also fine. Okay. So we've downloaded all that. Let's go onto our site, see how it looks. I want this one to be the first one. This should be the second one. We'll just drag these in. Let's see when we click save. All right, let's continue. This section here up here just needs to load for some reason. So let's just continue. We want over here to add a image. Now I've already prepared one here that I think could look great. I basically just took this image and just added it in Photoshop, tilted it and removed the background. And I think it will look incredible over here when we add it. So let's see. So it automatically gets the white background and I'll go in and remove that afterwards. I can actually just do that later. That's fine. Down here, since we've only got one product, I don't want to showcase off a collection. I do want to show our product. So I'll instead go down and pick add section and then click down here. There should be one that's called featured product. Okay, it's up here. So add that one. We'll just drag it up to where the collection was. Boom. So we'll hide the collection here and instead show the product. We'll select our product. Boom. Copenhagen head shaver. And then that's solid. Okay. Now is probably a good time to start going over all of the text. So while these load here, let's still write something. So what we could write is here it should be a product feature. Over here it should be something very simple, such as 1 to 3 days delivery and then free shipping on all orders. Something like that. Keep it brief, keep it short. And then over here it could be something about our satisfaction guarantee. Try risk-free in 30 days. Okay. Over here it's something about our product. Perhaps let's take a look at Groomsy. What are they kind of saying? Smoothest shave of your life. Probably something like that. Smooth and easy. Use whenever you want. Something like that. Like it just has to make some kind of sense. That's not the most important part. I would love that our buttons down here also have this orange color. I think it would give it a nice feel. So let's go in here actually and pick that orange color. I think it would make it even more branded. Yeah, look at that. Looks very, very good. Also, you can see that we've got these product badges here. Let's customize them. I want one of them to be orange, one to be black, and then the other ones, I don't want them to be there at all. Okay, so we'll just remove the text and they should be gone. And here we'll try for 30 days. And we could even write something here, such as lifetime warranty. Okay, it's starting to look like something, slowly but surely. All right, up here we need to write something. And you've actually got the option, if you lack something creative, to use Shopify's AI. So let me show you how that works. You can click on generate text and then you can write in the tone. We want it to be an expert. Brief description of our head shaver kit. Let's see what it comes up with. You can just use some of this. It has all kind of ideas and it can be very good to get you going if you feel like you lack the creativity. Sometimes it's a bit generic though, but it's just to show you that you've got the option. I would want to write something more branded and instead maybe say something like say goodbye to old trimmers or something. Something like that. With the Copenhagen head shaver, you can trim yourself easily to perfection within a few minutes. Maybe something like that instead. And when it says Køb nu, we want to say shop now. And then point to the product, of course. Right? So you can see how it slowly starts to look like something. Main thing is now the product needs to be added. Down here, I'll remove some of these sections. Yeah, so I think if we just add some branded content down here, then it should be fine. Maybe we can just add this one. Yeah, looks perfect. Then let's write something more branded here and then down below. where it says it's in Danish down here, but we'll just change that. So save 10% on your first order. Here, let's try something like, let's actually see what they write. Fastest and smoothest shave of your life. I think that's cool. Actually, I think I want it to be down here. Faster and smoother. That's something we could write here as a title. Shop now. Yeah, boom. Point to the product, of course. Let's see how it looks on mobile. It's a bit difficult to read, to be honest, so we could add some text protection here like this. Perfect. Really see that it starts to look like something. Over here, I want to disable zoom. I also want our images to be below the media. Then let's just add something down here. About us, Copenhagen trim. And then we can just write something basic, generic. We were tired of old generic trimmers. Say hello to the new DN, to the new world of yourself on the go with Copenhagen trim. Something like that. Like this doesn't need to be perfect. It will work anyway. Then finally, I want to add our logo down here. So let's do that. Where it says logo and social. We just want it in white though, because all the other text down here is white. So let me go in, get our logo. Boom. And make it white. You can also do this in Canva. Done. So that's most of our homepage, I'd say. Now let's go on to our product page, which by far is the most important of the entire site. You can also see that our icons actually loaded. I think they look great. First thing I want to solve is that it says sold out over here. So we simply go into our products out here and click on it. Where it says continue selling when out of stock, we just click that. And now people can actually buy the product, okay? And it's really on the product page where the SWE theme comes to its full potential. You'll see that it has some crazy features. So yeah, let me show them to you now. First and foremost, we've got this image slider built in here, which is sick. So with all of these customer images, we can just add them in here. We need to add them one by one. But then you'll see something pretty cool once that's done. So I'll just do this, drag all of the images up here. And then we've got a few images that aren't in the correct aspect ratio. We of course want to solve that. And you'll see now it will start sliding. Okay, this looks so cool. Looks very solid. But let's work a bit more on all that it says up. So where it says in stock, ready to ship, you can see we've got a bunch of sales points up here. And this is something we definitely want to fill out right now. This is where we talk all about the features of the product. And this is one of the largest mistakes I see people make on new sites. They don't promote the actual benefits of the product. Way too often I come across ecom brands that seem too generic, and the owner of the ecom brand always just thinks that the consumer should know the benefits of that product. In reality, they don't. You need to tell them very upfront the benefits of your product. So let's do that, and let's also here see what these guys say. They've got a lot of them down here, so I think I'll actually just take and just copy and paste them actually. That should be fine. This one down here is very good, 3-minute head shave. That's something everyone can relate to. So I'll drag this up here. Mess-free shave, I think that's also something everyone can relate to. And I think we'll do like this instead. We don't want them to be too long. And then one final one, IPX7 waterproof. That's always good to have. And then let me just rank them by how kind of important they are. I think we should do like boom, done. Down here you want to have a section kind of, it says in Danish, what's included. So we'll just write something 1x Copenhagen head shaver, 1x USB C charger, 1 X carrying bag, something like that. Down here, 30 days satisfaction guarantee. We are confident that you love our product. That's why we offer a 30-day guarantee in which you can test our product all you want. Okay, boom, done. And then down here, shipping. So just write something like shipping is always free at Copenhagen trim. We deliver all orders within 1 to 3 days. Okay, so now this page up here looks incredibly strong, and already now if you can follow these steps, you'll have a site that's like 10 out of 10 almost. Down here we want to have a comparison table, and in this section we'll say Copenhagen trim or Copenhagen head shaver versus average shaver, something like that. Heading 2 will add our own logo. Go on. So they know that's us. We want to add both a cross and a check in here. And of course, guess where I found the icons? Yeah, it is from Flat Icon. I just went in there, grabbed some, and you can see them here. So let me just add them. Boom. So I'll just add the check. I'll add the cross. So you can see that now. Look at that. So now it's time for us to add all about what makes our product different. So we could write something like trim in 3 minutes. We could write something like IPX7 waterproof. This is basically all of the USP. It's fine if it's some of the same up here. Actually, what we can do here is that I know some other people that are doing really well with something similar called Manscaped. So actually many of the same USPs, we can use them. So skin safe technology, that's something we should definitely add. Skin safe technology, maybe add about the battery. And then finally, let's see, up to 60 minutes runtime. Boom, done, let's save it. Final thing is we want to add our FAQ down here. We can write questions. We've got answers. Down here we want to add some of the frequently asked questions. One way, once again, is to go on to the maybe competitor, see what they've got. Also, you can actually see they had actually the same section down here. I completely forgot. But I think these questions are very good. And most often you want to do this because these are the same questions that people will have about your product. These are the questions their customer service team get. So let's copy some of these. You can rewrite them if you want. And ideally you want to have kind of 3 to 5 questions down here at minimum. For now I'll add one final one, and then it's done. Actually, another really great way to just make your site a bit more branded is to add background colors to certain sections, or actually do it to your entire site. 9 out of 10 pages online have this white color, but if you just make yours a slightly different variant of white, it can actually do a large change. So I'm thinking I want to do that for our share. I don't want it to be much. Let me see if I can find something cool here. Something like this. I think this is cool. So of course we also want to add it up here in our navigation and everywhere else on the site. It just gives it a slightly different feel in my opinion, which I really like. Let's also see if the homepage looks good. Definitely does. It definitely does. My only point would be that, can you see the white background here around the image down here? We would need to remove that, but we'll do that in a... Always make sure to not have this dynamic checkout button added. And ideally, all of what we added over here, this, want to add this out here as well. But let's see if there's anything more to do to the product page. I think it looks good. I think we can though add a couple of sections more down here. It creates authority having a lot of text and informative stuff on your site, so we of course want that. I just think we will do one image with text. That's up here. Yeah, it can be up here. And on this, I actually saw this great image we got from our supplier, which I want to use. It's a before and after. and that's exactly what people are looking for here. Boom. And then let's see, can we find some good text to see how easy head shaving can be. Boom. We can make the image just a bit smaller. That should be fine. And then just take something like this. Now, as you can see, I'm just copying directly. Ideally, you want to go in and change some of this. The fact that I'm going to translate all to Danish later on will be enough of a change that it's fine. So once I go in and translate everything, nobody can see that I've almost just copied somebody. Also, if this was something I wanted to run for a longer time period, I would put a bit more effort into making, the text perfect. But for now, this is just to show you that you can really make it work with as basic a setup like this. We want to add a final image more. Maybe see if we've got something. I think I just want to add a happy customer actually. And then maybe let's see if lawnmower has something cool. Confidence does, yeah, I like that. And then just some other text to add to it. Done. Skin safe, and we just want to be sure that, do we say skin safe anywhere else? We say smooth shave up here, so we want of course to have the same. And at this point we're almost done. If you followed along, congrats, you've almost now built a perfect site. And you can probably see how well good branded this is. I hope you can, because it really is a perfect example of how a site should be. One final thing I want to do though is I want to add our navigation down here and up here. So we do this out here. Online store, navigation, and where it says main menu, that's your section up here. Where it says footer menu, that's your section down here. So we want to add both. Ideally we want just home. We just want to set to Copenhagen. Head shaver, or I can't even remember what our product is called. Yeah, Copenhagen head shaver. Add the C as well. Boom. Point it towards the product. Done. Where it says contact, that's fine. Also, with a new page like this, you haven't really got much to add up here, but we still want to make an effort to do so because it will create authority once again. So one thing I always love having is a product link, a contact link like so, but also an FAQ. So afterwards I'll go in and create an FAQ page. We'll write it up here. For now though, it can just point towards this contact page. Right, add it up here, okay. And then you can add another page that's called something like, I'm just pointing them towards the contact now, but I want to change this later on. And then something about Copenhagen, trim, some branded stuff, okay. Done. Go in here and refresh. See how good that looks. Yeah, boom, now it's up here. So you can see it feels a lot more filled out now, and we want to do the same with the footer. So we want to add some more down here. So mainly we can add the same things down here actually. It should be fine. Let's just write here. Boom. Contact. We'll go in and create the FAQ in a bit. Okay, like this. Now that's done, let's go in here and let's refresh. So it just takes a bit to refresh, but while it does, we can just change the text down here. It needs to be in English. Sign up to our newsletter and save 20% on your first order. Over here, we want to add company information such as mail, address, phone. For now, we can just write something. This is just an example for you guys. I'm just writing something completely random here. But it's just to show you how much of a difference it actually makes. Okay, so you want to have ideally your mail, phone number, and address down in your footer as well. And this should be the exact structure you should use. So the logo, the menu, your newsletter, and then the address, okay? Finally, what we want to do is we want to try and click on add to cart, see how does our cart now look. Does it look good? Yeah, it has the same perfect orange color. It has our payment icons down here, which this theme automatically comes with. It will automatically detect what payment methods you have available and apply those. And yeah, basically then that's that actually. Now we are very close at being done. The few final things we need to do though is we want to go into here on our pages and then add our terms of service, refund policy, and privacy policy. I'll add a free template for you down below, which you can simply go in here, copy and paste. It should be very simple and then you're done with that as well. I recommend you to add it down to the footer and then that's perfect. There's only 2 things now we need to add to make the site finished, and let me show you how you can do that. One of them is the shipping. You want to go into your settings, into shipping and delivery, and then click here, and then make sure that this is the country you want to ship to. You can delete all of these other ones. And then you want to set, what should your shipping be? I recommend for all of you to set this at 0 kroner. And I also recommend to you, click here, just to give it a more descriptive name than just standard shipping. Tell about the shipping carrier that you'll be using. In Denmark, GLS is very popular, so I'll write GLS home delivery 1 to 3 days at a time period as well, okay? Boom, click done. So that's the shipping. And then we click save. Now the very final thing I want you to add is of course your payment solutions. So what you want to do is you want to go into your payments here and you want to click on complete account setup. Shopify will ask you for some information. Just provide it to them as your bank account details and then you're good to go. Now before we move on, I really want to show you guys how the site now looks. So let me just scroll down and show you all of its features. As you can see, we got our video up here, the navigation, this section, which looks really cool. We still need to add this. I'll do this right after. Down here, faster and smoother. But most importantly, the product page. That is the most important page. And we actually want to take a look at this on mobile because that's the most important for us. So we can do it like this. Okay. See, it looks really good, really branded. We've got the questions down here. We've got the logo. In general, I feel very confident that this will work. Finally, we of course want to add our domain. So you go into settings, you click on your domains and you end up where I am. And then you click on connect existing domain. Then you write copenhagentrim.dk and you can click next. Then it's time to click verify connection. Most likely here they'll make an error. As you can see, they made an error here. So what you want to do is you want to pull up GoDaddy. Once you're in GoDaddy, you want to click on yourself up here into your products. And up here, your domain will be, for us, it'll be Copenhagen Trim. Now, let's say this is Copenhagen Trim. Now, when you buy certain domains, like a .dk domain, just for you guys watching, then after 24 to 48 hours, you'll receive a confirmation email from somebody called .dk. And in there, you'll verify with your identity before the domain becomes active in here in your account. Now, I don't want to wait for that right now since I'm making this guide for you. So let's just pretend that this domain down here, Nordic Fire, is Copenhagen Trim. You then click on DNS. Then what you want to do is down here, you can see it says we need to have an A record. So just follow my settings here. This is not too difficult. I know all of you can do it. So you want to click up here. We want to pick a type A, just like it says in here. And then the name here, add, value, done, click save, okay? So that's one. And you can see this says it's already there because I did this before for this domain, okay? Next one is the CNAME. So you can see type, CNAME, name, www, value, boom, like so. Oh, I didn't copy it. Value, boom, like so, and you click save. Then it can take around 30 minutes. But after that, what you want to do is you want to go into Shopify and click verify connection. After a while, it will go through and then your domain is successfully connected and your site will now be on Copenhagen Trim or whatever your domain is. With that said, I actually want to congratulate you now. Most likely you followed the guide. I hope you've done that. And if you've done so, you can actually now see how easy it is to create a good site if you just know these small tricks that I showed you about changing the colors, the fonts, and then combining that with a good product and good content. This is a site that's 10 out of 10. And while I have told you that the website is only 20% of the equation, a good looking site like this that you're watching right now is the exact same thing that all of the people I've mentioned who have succeeded with ecom using my framework have in common. They have all used the SWE theme and they have all had a great looking site with good content. So while it is more simple, it is crucial to have the correct content. I just want to emphasize that. With that said, let's move on to the ads. So how do you create your own ads? Well, first and foremost, we need that good content. This is exactly what I was referring to previously. It is now that good content becomes crucial. So first, gather all your good content, whether you found it yourself online or shot it yourself, and pull up that folder. Then simply copy the structures of these images and videos that have generated over 10 million euros for me. This is the exact structure I've used and the same exact structure all of my members have, and the same one that you should use. So let me now quickly show you how you can make ads like these yourself within 30 minutes. Alright, it is time to create our ads. First and foremost, click the link down below where you'll find a link directly to the business manager. So you click on that and then you're here where I am. First things first, you want to click on here, get started. Now a quick caveat is that I've got so many business manager accounts that I can't actually have anymore. So when I click get started, I'm just being sent to the business manager where we want to be. When you click started, you will be asked to just give a quick name and your currency and your email probably, and just pick whatever feels natural to you. Pick the same currency you want to sell in. But click get started and then you will be sent into something that looks like this. What you want to do is then click on the ads manager down here, okay? Now let me show you how you can set up your business managers in a few minutes. First things first, you want to make sure that the ad account up here has the same name that you just created. If it isn't, search for it up here. It could be Copenhagen Trim. And then it will say where it is in your account. Now I haven't created a new one, I'll just use an old one I have. Then what you want to do is you want to click on all tools and then on your business settings. The first thing you want to do when you come in here is click down on brand safety. You want to click on your domains and in here you want to add your domain. Click on add up here, click create a new domain and add the domain you want to add. Click on Copenhagen. So I will write copenhagentrim.dk, click add, and then you will be prompted with this code. Then you want to go into your Shopify, you want down here to click on edit code, and then you want to go into your theme.liquid and just paste it here. Boom, on line 8, click save. Now, if your store has a password like mine has right here, you want to remove that. Otherwise, it simply won't be verified, okay? Once that's done, you can try and click verify domain. Most likely you'll get an error here if you're too quick, but just try within 5 to 10 minutes and you will get verified. So that's the first thing. Then what we want to do is we want to add our pages. Now, of course, we haven't created them yet, so let me show you how you can do that. First, you go into Facebook, then you click up here on the menu and on pages. And then you click create new page. Copenhagen Trim, category, retail, or we could even write something here, so long I think that's fun. And just take something from our site here. Boom, for the description, that's fine. We can always change this later. Now we just want to get things set up so we can move forward, okay? Once that's done, you'll want to add all your info in here, and then click next, add your cover photo and your profile picture. It is very simple once again. We could even just, for now, here you of course want to add your logo, and for the cover photo, you want to add, some happy customers. Maybe something like this would be perfect actually. Okay, and then let me see if I can just find our logo. And then we want to add it. Once that's done, click on next, and you've created your Facebook page. It is literally this simple. So click skip, click next, turn on notification if you want, and click done. Then go into here and click add a page. Search for Copenhagen Copenhagen trim. Boom. Click add page. Okay, done. You want to do the same with your Instagram account. You can actually also start without an Instagram account. That's not something I recommend. Go onto Instagram, create a new profile, add the profile picture, add an image, and get moving. Once that's done, it's now time for you to connect your Shopify with Facebook. Facebook has something that's called a pixel, and that's basically the brain inside of Facebook that tries to track and decide which customers should be exposed to your ads. So we want to connect that now. To do so, click up here on Sales Channels. Click on Facebook and Instagram. Install. Install. Click Get Started. Connect your account. This is your personal Facebook account. Click Continue. Business Assets. Here you want to pick the Facebook page we just created. Take it. Click Connect. Data sharing. Maximum, save, click create new pixel, agree, submit for review. Now things are actually connected and we can move on inside the ads manager. Alright, so click up here on the dots, click on the ads manager. Once you're in here, you want to click create. Click on sales, click continue. Just follow these steps even though you don't understand it. I'll just take you through everything how you need to set it up. It won't be that difficult. Just follow me and it will be fine. Click continue. We want to give it a name. We want to call it top funnel. And I like to call it top funnel because in marketing, we talk about our entire customer journey as a funnel. So kind of try and envision it. And at the top, you will have all those customers who really haven't heard of you before. Down below, you'll have the people who have maybe seen your ads or even been on your site. And the people that kind of goes through the funnel here, they are the people who purchase. So that's why when I write top funnel, we're targeting new people. We later create a bottom funnel for people who have already seen our ads, okay? So you can just name it this, switch on so you don't use a catalog, click next. For the pixel, be sure to use the exact same one as we just set up. If you're in doubt, you can go in here, you can see your settings, and then you can see the ID here. If you can't see it, like I actually can't in my case, then what you want to do is you want to go into your business settings and down where it says add accounts, click on that, click on delete, and down where it says add data sources, click down there, click on datasets. Here you can see the pixel actually, but you can also see over here in connected assets that it isn't connected to an account. So click assign asset, delete, done. Now when I go in here and I refresh, now I can see it. So click down here, click on the max pixel, all right? Conversion event, you always want purchase, so do that. And then it's time for you to take a very important decision, which is what audience you want to be targeting. Down here, click switch to original audience options, use original audience. And now it's time for us to do some targeting. Who do we want to serve your ads to? Now, for most of you, I recommend to keep this very broad. Don't use too many interests. But it's down here where you actually can. It seems that there aren't really any good interest for being bald. Therefore, I very simply want to just add here that is for men and then continue. Actually, in some cases, you even also want to target women, even if your product is mostly for male, because chances are the woman could buy it as a gift for the male. In this case, though, I would like to only try and target men. And as you can see here for Denmark, you want to pick your country here. So I'll just write that up here, DK male, all right? Then down here, just write what your store is called, Copenhagen trim. Click on next. Pick your Facebook page here. And down here, you want to add your Instagram account. Now it's actually time for us to create our ads. And this is the final, yet most important part of everything. So now let's focus on that and cover how you can create amazing ads that will convert just like Aya, Emre, Victor and Magnus did. Alright, here we are inside of Capwing. Now Capwing is a great tool for editing videos yourself online. It is free, at least they have a free version, and it is solid. So let me now show you how I would go about utilizing our current content, the one we've got from our supplier, and how we can make that into ads that will convert people. This is one of the most crucial aspects of creating your high-performing ecom brand. This is specifically what all of the people that succeed with ecom do well. They create good-looking and high-converting ads. And the truth is, when you've done it as many times as I have, it really is simply about applying the same formula over and over again. So let me now in this video show you how you can use that same formula to gain incredible results with your ecom brand. Alright, click create new when you're inside Capwing and then pick 4 to 5. We always want to make our ads in 4 to 5. That's just how it is. First and foremost, we want to upload our media. You want to upload a few things here. First, you want to upload all of the videos you've got. I've only got one video about our product, but it is very good, that video. So I think we can still make something fine out of it. And then you also want to add your logo in here. So let's start with adding this video and cropping it. So if you can crop it more than this, you can drag these here. Or potentially what you would want to do is you could make your project here 1 by 1 instead. I think that's what I'm going to do instead. Resize project, just click 1 by 1. Okay, resize it, boom. We do want it in high quality, but that's not the most important thing. This video in itself is actually very, very good. I think the only thing that needs to be done is really to add like our kind of trademark on it and then explain a bit about the product as we go. It's very rare that you come across videos that are naturally very good without a logo. We have in this case, which is just another reason why it's a perfect product, but I'll show you some more examples down the line. Now, the logo you want to import should be without background, so I'll add our logo once again, and then add it here. As you can see, it's now in the center. I'll just scale it down and I'll drag it up here in the corner up here. Just another way of showing that this is actually our product, our video, okay? So we just want to extend this for the entire timeline of the video. Now, one of the major things we want to do here is we want to do some explanation. And you've got a few different options. Either you can just add some subtitles that kind of explain as we go about the product. Alternatively, if you're more dedicated, you can even do a voiceover. You can also combine the two. Do a voiceover and explanation titles. It's really up to you, but you need one of them. And what I'd say is that if you can do a good voiceover, it will always be the best. But let me now show you how I would go about this and how I would go about like adding the different elements. So let's click on text. And then I'll just click here on this text here. Just make it white, a bit larger and bold. I think it's fine for now. Main thing here is we want to talk about some of the same USPs that we do on our site. Also, if we choose a white text here, I might want to make our logo white later on. You know, you always have to make things work together and be very intuitive. Don't want there to be small details like that doesn't fit together. So what I like to do in the beginning is always do some kind of introduction. Write something like say goodbye. Let's pull up our store while we do this. Say goodbye to old trimmers. Like we might as well say the same that we do on our site once again to make it congruent. Say goodbye to old trimmers with Copenhagen trim. Okay, so let's see how this looks if we just scale it a bit out. Maybe I actually think that I don't want to have it here because it's right in the center of all that's going on. So let me for now try and add it down here. And if we end up having it down here, it does look like a subtitle a lot. So in that case, I might want to actually give it a background here. Okay, you can turn down the opacity like this to make it more see-through. I think 50% is cool. But while we're at it, I think let me just try and make the text color black and then the background color white. Then it matches more easy with that up here. All right, so let's play it. Okay, so this is fine, but I think right in the first few seconds we want something that's a bit more captivating. So I just Command C, Command V, copy pasted this, and then we want to ask a question instead in the beginning. Like we want to get people's attention, I think. So what we should do instead is like struggling to. I think something like this could do well. Struggling to keep your head hair free, maybe. Let's see if we come up with something better later. But for now, we want to ask that question, something to captivate people. And I think also want to just up the opacity here a bit. And let's see how it plays out now. Yeah. Boom. Ideally, if you're really good, like what you want to do is you want to make the text change at the same time that certain scenes or music does. You can hear that the music goes crazy here. Right here. So this is exactly where we want to introduce our new text. This is just like if you really want to make it hardcore. So we could do it like this, okay? Boom. So now it'll be like this. Then one thing you want to do while you do this is you want to go through it a lot of times, try and read it, see is there enough time, is there too much time, or is there too little time to read the subtitles here. There's plenty of enough here for as an example. So let's scale this down a bit and let's add a new one here. So struggling to keep your head hair free, say goodbye to old trimmers with Copenhagen trim, and now you want to educate users. So picture this as a more of a storyline. We present the problem, we present the solution, and now we tell why it is a solution. So let's say something all about what we say here on our side. So the Copenhagen head shaver, let's write something like this. Shave your head to perfection in 3 minutes. This could actually also be a very great hook, and maybe we can even use this hook in some of our images later. We need to find those sentences that are really relatable to people with a bald head. Say goodbye to old trimmers, shave your head to perfection in 3 minutes with Copenhagen trim. Let's just extend it so it can be on one line. Let's see if it looks good. Perfect. So let's go through it, see if we've got enough time to read it. Yeah, perfect. This is also the perfect place to talk about the more technical features of the product. Designed with our, what did we call it? Smooth, safe technology. We always want it to be on one line, and in this case, I feel like it's a bit too large, so I would like to see, can I just make it a bit smaller? And if I make one of them a bit smaller, I need to make all of them. Like, we can't have titles here in different sizes and colors. It will just be a mess, and so let's change it everywhere. Also, sometimes try and go through the entire video. Looking at it again, I think this section is way too short now. I couldn't read it right there. Maybe here instead I'll write, say goodbye to old trims with our head shaver. I think we called it a head shaver. Okay. Yeah, because we mentioned our name here, I don't want to do it back to back. Shave your head to perfection in 3 minutes with Copenhagen trim. I think we want to extend it a bit. That's a very important line. Write something like, it's the perfect solution for bald. I actually think this is for bald busy people. Because that's exactly what this guy is. Yeah, I actually think that's fun. That's also, like, in general, like a fun tagline. Maybe we can use this other places. Let's make this a bit shorter. And then in the end, of course, we always want to have our call to action. So we want to write here, get yours now at Copenhagen trim.dk and save 30%. But alright, now we've got our ad, let's go through it once and for all. I think it has turned out great. Very short, straight to the point. Ideally, I would have wanted it to be a bit longer, but for now, it should be fine. So go up to where it says export, make sure to export it in the highest quality you can. You need Capwing Pro to do these, but yeah, this should be fine. Export. So now it will download the video. And in general, I always like launching with between 1 to 3 videos. Now it depends on the content we've got. In our case here, we only had 1 good video. So in that case, we'll need to make up for that with creating great image ads. So let me now show you how you can do that. Okay, let's now continue with the image ads. So click up here on create a design. You can just click import file actually, and then pick this product here. Then we're sent into Canva. Use in a new design, custom size. So we've got our image, and this leads me to one of the first variations of an ad that has just worked for me again and again and again. And I'm not gonna lie, I've at least made over 4 million euros on this single image ad. So let me now show it to you, and then let's try and make something very similar. Here it is. This is the ad. So as you can see, it's basically just a product on a white background, and then with 4 sections with arrows that point towards the different features and benefits of the product. It is a very simple ad, but it is a great way of showing the actual benefits of your product. So now let us go through and make one that's similar. And in general, I recommend for all of you guys to create something similar like this. To get an arrow, we can try in here and search for it. Arrow. Boom. There's an arrow in here, and we can just take this one. It should be fine. We don't want it to hop around like this, but we can just change this later. Actually, let me just delete it because I found it down here. Here is the arrow. Let me see the arrows they've got in here, and I think we might be able to use some of this. Yeah, let's try. So you can rotate it by doing so. And then we want to have like these arrows point towards 4 different places on this hair trimmer. And we might also want to make it a bit smaller actually, just because we'll need to fit a lot of text in here. A lot. All right, so that's that. Let's click add a subheading, and then let's write one of the features here. Let's always say something similar as to what we do on our site. Also, by the way, I just saw I need to get this translated. So let's maybe write, we point towards kind of the motor here, the trimming section. So maybe let's write 3-minute head shave. We want to make it a bit smaller. We haven't got that much space here. 3-minute head shave. Boom. And then down below, we should have a section that explains it. And that's a bit smaller. So this is 17. I think this should be 2 sizes smaller. And then we wanted to say, I think this should be fine for now at least. Okay, so let me just grab the text here, and I'll just add it up here. Add the arrow. And for some reason I really don't like this arrow, so instead I think I'm going to go online, search for arrow PNG. I like some arrows that are a bit more curled, like this one. This was the same one I used. I just think it looks way better. So let me now get that imported into here, and then let's pick that one. Let's scale it a bit down, and you can see, like, yeah, I like this way more. I really would like to flip it. Flip here. Flip. Boom. Perfect. Look at that. Now that's exactly what I'm talking about, okay? This looks great now. The arrow actually does a lot. Okay, perfect. Boom. So let's continue. Let's make one down here. Maybe this one points to the battery or something. And we can just now copy this one and drag it down here. And we of course want to make it brief as well. Oh, well, yeah, let's talk about the smooth save technology. No more cuts. No more frustration. I think that's something everyone can relate to. They get quite frustrated when they're being cut. So maybe let's place the text down here. You always want to get the arrow to point towards something. Maybe like this, yeah. I think this is solid. Okay, so let's continue. Let's take this corner over here. Ideally, I want here to make this a bit smaller because, like, I don't want all of the text to be at the same size and the same level. I want it to be a bit more kind of artistic. Then we'll write something else here. Smart LED and travel lock. Maybe we can talk about that. Smart LED and lock made with a smart LED to highlight all areas or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's actually fine. Then it's just the final one, and maybe we could write something about Danish company. Make it very brief. For 7 customer service to guide you. And then let's see if we can make this small enough to be in this part over here. I just never want the arrows to point towards the same. That's my only thing here. And I feel like maybe, can it be down here? It's too tight. No, let's do it up here. Yeah. But that's the thing, guys. Listen, you want to just experiment, see what looks best, and figure it out. This is an incredible ad. Let me just say it. This might be one of our best performing ads for this entire product. So let's click share and let's get this downloaded. And then, of course, we need to make a couple more ads like this that highlights the features, the benefits. But this was one of the most difficult ones. What we could do as a variation is we could kind of take one of our images here with a happy customer, such as this guy here. And we could actually just have the same style, but now with a human, okay? Okay, so this is another very simple, very great ad. So let's download it. And then I actually think we've got enough. So you both want to have ads that kind of highlight the features and the benefits. So you both want to have ads that kind of highlight the features and the benefits, but you also want to have ads that are more minimalistic and lifestyle, actually without text maybe. Therefore, now with our content, let's jump into the ads manager and get our ads made. It's time for us to create our ads, so let's get going. First, you want to go into your ads and you want to name this image 1. That's just because we want to have quite a strict naming convention here, because later on with all of the ads you're going to be having in here, it is way simpler for you to just have a strict style already now. You can even add a keyword to it, such as lifestyle, if this was a lifestyle image. So scroll down, make sure it says manual upload, single image or video, and add media, add image. Now we want to drag some of our content in here. Of course, we've made some ads ourselves, but we have also just customized some. One image that I really like is actually this one from a customer. We both want images that showcase a lot of the features and benefits, for sometimes it is just as good simply having somebody hold up the product and they seem genuine. As for what we should write here on our ads, like the text that will show up or out here, there really isn't, once again, no reason to make life difficult for yourself. Let's now take a look at what Grooming Club and the other guys are doing, and let's improve upon that. So let's go into the ads library. Let's pick all. Let's pick all ads. And then let's search for Grooming. Boom. They are here. Let's see what kind of ads they are running. Okay. Something like this. You can actually just go in here and take a look what kind of text they use a lot of. This is a good example. Of course, once again, you don't just want to copy directly, you want to customize here. I'm doing this to showcase this for you. I'm not going to run this ecom brand. I'm just going to test it for a few days to show you that it works. But you would want to go in here and customize it. And once again, since I'm running it in Danish, I will just translate most of this and then it will be customized sufficiently. So this is a great text actually. What you can see they have up here is they have some benefits about the product, and then they have a fun kind of catching hero line here. So let's continue and see what they write. Let's click on 3-minute shave, no cuts. That's also a great brief line. And maybe you go down here 1 to 3 days delivery, okay? You always want the call to action to be shop now. And then as for the destination, you of course want to go into your product page and copy the URL. And then of course make sure the display link says your domain Copenhagen trim. Once that's done, that's your first ad. Really congrats. So now you want to click on publish. Alright, since that's published, let's continue. What you want to do is click on the X up here and just click duplicate. This will create a copy of the ad you've just made, and you can name this image 2. Then we just want to change certain things of the ad. This could, as an example, be the image itself. We could try with one of the versions we just made. We could try with this feature one, and then let's go through. See, it's a completely different ad now and definitely something we want to test. All right, let's do that again. Duplicate, image 3. And ideally you always want to launch with at least 4 different ads. I prefer 5, but it depends on the content you've got. Add image. So we also made this one, as you remember. For this one, we could try changing the text as well. Split test some more on that, even though we can see that these guys use the same one again and again. Wow, okay. Okay, in that case, let's take towards working for them. All right, and then finally we also want to add our video. So I'll of course call that video #1. Delete this, click add video, and just drag and drop this in here. Just get that to load, and then now, congrats, you've added 4 ads, you've made the website, you've found the product, and now you're ready to launch. Almost, that is. We just want this to load, and then we click publish, and then let me show you the final steps. All right, let's click publish, and then that's perfect. One thing to note is that because I don't have the paid version of Capwing, you can see down here that it says Capwing. That's not ideal. I just wanted to show you how Capwing worked. You can also get a free trial in there. You can also see this says learn more. We don't want that, so just go down and make it shop now down here. And let's publish again. All right, so now let's try and target some different interests. So let's duplicate this ad set and let's try and target it to someone else. It could be hair salons. And that's also something a lot of people miss out on. Try it just for the fun if you feel confident in your ad and target it towards B2B appeal. Sometimes you can get very large orders that way, and these might sometimes be your most profitable orders. So that's a very low-hanging fruit you can test as well. For the sake of this video, I'll just do it as well. So let's see if we can find some hair salons. Yeah, boom. Yeah, hair products should be fine. So let's publish that one. And then let's do another one. We just want ideally to have 3 or 4 different ad sets here with different interests, and then we can see what's working the best. Once you've got one, you can click on suggestions down here, and we could pick hairstyle. Just name it up here, hairstyle. And then for the final one, let's make that completely broad, I think, and that means targeting everyone. So you can call it broad. And that's something that often performs very well. Just saying to Facebook, hey, listen, you can find whoever you want. We just want conversions. So that can work extremely well also. With that said, to summarize, we've created our ads. We've made our structure here on Facebook with a top funnel, with 4 ad sets, with different interests. We've made our different ads, 4 different ads, 3 images, 1 video. We've created a site that looks perfect. We've found a great product, made our analysis, so now it is time to test our product. That means I'll leave the ads turned on, and I'll leave them turned on for around a week and make them get some results. That way you and I can analyze on the results in around 1 week's time, take a look at the numbers, and from there hopefully you can see that everything is possible with e-commerce. I feel confident with our setup here that we'll get some sales. Of course, as previously mentioned, I've got some work now because I did all of this to you in English, even though we're targeting Denmark. So now I want to go in and actually translate my entire site to Danish, to the local country. Remember the strategy I told you about, and I want to do the same for the ads. It won't take me more than a couple of hours though, because I'm quite fast at this point, especially when I don't talk to you guys. But other than that, things are good to go. So I'll talk to you soon when we've got some results. Now, since the ads are live, it's a waiting game for the next few days. A lot of you will probably also sit a bit confused watching this video and think he doesn't even have the product in his inventory yet. He hasn't even covered anything about ordering the product. You're correct, I haven't got the product. And there's a very simple reason for that. We use pre-orders and an advanced combination of email marketing. We don't order the product before having tested it, because the matter of the fact is that you never know 100% whether the product will work or not. While a lot, and I mean a lot of my students, make their store work with their first product, generally it takes 2 to 3 product tests before you have a winner. That's also why I wanted you to find 5 different products. This is actually like playing the jackpot, but with a 33% chance of winning. And how often would you then play? Probably a lot. I know me, I would play until I found the correct one and won the jackpot. And that's literally what I did. With that said though, as soon as we've ourselves found the POC, we then order home inventory and we get what's called a 3PL to send out the products, so we don't even have to touch the products ourselves. I've actually built a 3PL myself, which all of the SWE members of course get direct and free access to. And to all of you connected, unfortunately I can't help everyone but there are other ones out there. Now, since that's covered, the main thing to do now is to look for one single number, which is the ROAS. ROAS stands for return on ad spend, and it's a metric for how many times you get the amount spent on ads back in revenue. i.e., if you spend 100 euros on ads and have generated 300 euros in revenue, then you've got a ROAS of 3. You divide your total revenue in a period with the total amount spent on ads. It's simple enough, you can do it. And that's exactly what we're looking for. A ROAS of +3 means we've won the testing phase. We found the jackpot. And if you get that, well, congrats, you've now got a full-fledged brand like a lot of other people using my framework, and an ecom brand that you can make a living from. So in that case, pull up your sleeves and get to work, because now it's time to change your life. So to summarize, we now want to let our ads run for 4 to 7 days and then analyze the results and hope we get a ROAS of +3. The honest truth is it can be difficult to get a ROAS of +3 if you don't know what you're doing, but luckily we do. Alright, it's been a few days since I was here in the studio. Since then, I've showed you how to create that perfect site we were talking about. I showed you even as well how to create those high converting ads and how to launch them. Now, of course, it's time to take a look at the actual results. How has this performed? As you can see in here, I launched all of my ads Wednesday last week. Therefore, it's been 6 days with all of the ads live, and here are the results. We spent a total of 3,073 kroner on ads. Now, the big question, of course, is how much did that generate us in revenue? As you can see here, it has created us a total of 15,000 kroner in revenue. But let me break it down. Wednesday, we got 0 orders. That's very normal though. Typically, the ads have to get up and running before we see any results. Thursday, we got our first sale though, and that was a total of 65 kroner. And I woke up Thursday and thought that's pretty strange, and saw that after I had done this tutorial for you guys, I forgot to change the price of the product. So we actually got one order of 65 kroner, which was pretty random. But after that day, things really started to pick up. You can see on Friday here that we spent a total of 700 kroner on ads. That's 90 euros, and got a total of 3,250 Danish kroner in revenue. That's a ROAS of almost 5, which is incredible. And after this day, I had the feeling that we were onto something pretty interesting. Saturday, we made a total of 1,300 kroner in revenue, close to 180 euros, which is a ROAS of around 2. So not bad, but not that good either. Sunday though, things really picked up for us. As you can see, we had a total revenue of 5,850 kroner. Pretty sick results, because that day I actually scaled our ads back down and we only spent 450 kroner, meaning we had a ROAS of almost 10. And these are the exact same numbers I saw on my first ecom brands when I started. So when I saw this, I knew we wanted something. Finally, yesterday we ended off on 3,250 kroner as well, with only 400 kroner spent on ads, so a ROAS of around 8 there. And today so far 1,300 kroner in ads again. So to summarize everything up, these are our total numbers. You can see here 65 kroner, then 3,250 kroner, and I'm not sure why this doesn't show, but nevertheless you can see that our total revenue was 15,015 kroner. I can even refresh here to show you that this is actually true, and the fact that I can oh yeah, now it popped up. Yeah, you can see all of our numbers here. This is really the proof, guys, that this works. And you can see all of these orders themselves, they are actually orders. Now I will, of course, due to the customers' respect, blur out their names, but you can see all of the orders here. You can even see where in Denmark they came from. A lot of people from Copenhagen, of course. Even one who bought 5 items, which was pretty sick, probably due to the B2B ad I showed you guys about. Probably the most interesting thing when launching a new brand is perhaps to take a look at the ads, because very often it's 1 or 2 of the ads that have created all of the sales. So let's now go in and take a look at what ads actually created these orders. So first and foremost, we can just go in here, pick all of our ad sets in our top funnel campaign, and sort them by amount spent. By simply doing that, you can see the best performing ads here. You can see that Facebook very clearly prioritized this ad specifically here with the 4 features. As I told you guys, Facebook loved this image ad with the 4 features. So this comes as no surprise to me. We can also see that they very clearly prioritized the video ad which we made from the content we found online. And once again, these would also be the 2 ads I would actually have guessed would perform the best. So that tells me that moving forward, we should do even more of that. We should do more images like these, and we should do more videos like the ones we did. It also tells me that the image down here with the features and the man, that didn't work at all. So moving forward, I would not do any ads like that. We should always be very clever at using our data from our ads in becoming better. So we had a total of 15,000 kroner in revenue. We spent around 3,000 kroner on ads. So divide those 2 numbers and you've got a ROAS, return on ad spend, of 5. 5 is extremely healthy, and this tells me we've got a profitable brand. So these are the 3 next steps I would take in order to elevate this brand and to scale it further. First, I would order home a bunch of content for this product. Our product worked with all of the content we found online, but now I want to take it to the next level, and I want to do it with our own tailored content. So I would go to the supplier and ask them for 2 samples or maybe 3 and get those sent directly to my content team, which all of the Scaling with Ecom members get direct access to. 2, once that's done, I would utilize that content and in general just improve the current ads we've got. I would actually also go into our ad account and scale up the numbers. I would be willing to spend even more on advertising here because we are so profitable. We only need a ROAS of plus 2.5 to be profitable, and here we've got one of 5, so we are making a lot of money here, meaning we can afford to spend more on ads and on content. Finally, I would take another round with our website, implement the content we got from our content team on that site, and in general, just take a look at how we can improve the site even more. When you've had these numbers, this is the perfect time for you to take those next steps into becoming an actual brand. Finally, once you've done all of that and you continue to scale further, I would then get added to a 3PL, a third-party logistics center, also called a warehouse. We've got one that's built directly for the Scaling with Ecom members, and they get free access to it to ship to all of Europe for the best possible prices. But if you aren't a member of Scaling with Ecom, you can probably take a look at your local country and try and get some other offers. To end things off here with this brand, I think it's crucial for me to emphasize that while this was only 15,000 kroner, you have to remember that we did it within 5 days. Now, to give you some context on how much money this actually is, let me try and break it down for you. 15,000 kroner in revenue over 5 days. That's 3,000 kroner in revenue daily on average on the first days. So I think it's more than fair to assume that this daily revenue level would only increase as we scale and make the brand better. But let's just be very conservative and say that we would only do 3,000 kroner in revenue daily. 3,000 kroner in revenue daily over the course of an entire month. That's around 90,000 Danish kroner in revenue. And with those numbers here, we've got a ROAS of 5. With a ROAS of 5, you've got around 30 to 35% in pure profit. I will show you the exact calculations here on the screen though, so you know that I'm not just making any random number up. It is around 35%. That means 35% of those 90,000 kroner is profit. That's around 31,500 Danish kroner in profit each and every single month. For most of you watching who are new to ecom, I think you can relate to how life-changing that would be. And I know if I were to continue with this brand, I could scale it at least to twice or 4 or 5 times the size. So hopefully that gives you some kind of context of what can be achieved with ecom if you follow a bulletproof framework. Probably around 25 to 30% of you following will see these results. For those other though, you might not see these results, and in that case, this is what you should do. If you haven't got any sales or haven't got to a ROAS of +3 within a 7-day period, you need to test another 2 to 3 products. It's that simple. Go through the exact process you've just done, but with a new product. Many times that works for you, or if it doesn't, do it again with a third product. And my rule of thumb is that when you've tested at least 3 products using our framework, you will have one winner in some way or the other. Whether it's 3,000 krona a day, whether it's 5, whether it's 1,000 krona a day, you will have some kind of winner. And from there, you can improve upon it using some of the more advanced strategies that I tell about in Scaling with Ecom itself. But also, just to be very, very honest with you, getting your first sale ever on Shopify should be your only goal in the beginning. It's the largest, most difficult task perhaps in your entire business journey, because when you get that first sale, you will become hooked into this process and you will be hungry for more. So for now, just focus on getting that very, very first sale and celebrate when you do. With all of that out of the way, I sincerely hope that this is the best proof you've seen so far that Ecom and our framework actually works. There is no secrets here. It's about applying yourself and following a proven path that others have done before. And for many of you, you'll probably sit and think, wow, Nikolaj really made it look easy. It wasn't always like that though. This is because I've applied myself for years now and gathered the best possible knowledge. But initially, I made so many mistakes, such as one time where I made the largest order of my life worth around 500,000 euros, only then to realize when it arrived that it was the wrong products that was in it. My supplier had screwed me over. I had a warehouse that had terrible service as well. I didn't have check on my supply chain. My cash flow was a mess at some times. I didn't realize how important the brand strategy was, and in general, my exit process of selling my business took way too long. All of these are mistakes that have cost me millions, and I would have been able to avoid all of those with simply the correct mentor who could guide me along those tricky processes to ensure that I would never have made the mistake in the first place. Of course, though, I made a lot of profit from Ecom. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, and that's within 3 years only. And suddenly people in my family started asking if I could help them start. And so I did. I made a brand for my mom, which in total made over 4 million euros in revenue. I made another brand with my best friend, which as of today have done around 6 million euros. And most recently, I made a brand with my girlfriend that have made around 2 million euros as of today. I even made a brand with my parents-in-law, which did around 100,000 euros. And more of my friends saw that, and so they wanted the same help. After all, they could literally see their childhood friend Nikolaj suddenly changing people's life with the same framework that worked with one ecom store at a time. And that's why I decided to build Scaling with Ecom, to be able to help my friends and others in my network, but in a scalable method for me, because after all, I only have 24 hours in a day. So how did it go? First, I won't lie to you, this definitely takes hard work and it is not easy, but it's not impossible either. It is actually very, very possible with the correct framework. So far, we've had over 500 students, and these are the results. Magnus and Victor, 2 childhood friends, have as of today made around 250, maybe 300,000 euros with the SWE framework. I and my girlfriend went from 0 experience with e-commerce whatsoever, but with my framework and my help, she's now making over 100,000 euros every single month. Benjamin, as I've told you about, he started with around 300 euros, and as of today, he's made around 60,000 euros. He even sold his brand. So on a final note here, let me just be very, very honest with you. Your shortcut to saving both time and money and being able to live off your own e-com store will be through this exact framework. I've never seen anything like it. And it has secured me over 17 million, probably 18 or 19 million euros in revenue over the last 3 years. But what is it you actually get inside of Scaling with Ecom that's so important? Well, first and foremost, you get plus 70 video modules that guide you step by step in finding the best products, designing a profitable online store, testing your offer, marketing strategies from top agencies, and how you can scale to hundreds of thousands of euros every single month. And since all of the modules are so detailed, you will be very, very aware of every single step to take along the way. It's basically 70 videos like this one here, but where we go even deeper into each aspect so you are fully equipped. Perhaps one of the most important things you get though is 5 weekly coaching calls where we collectively discuss various issues, solutions and strategies, as well as give you concrete feedback on your ecom store. We tell you about new products, marketing initiatives, making sure you've always got full clarity about the next best step to take. We've recently even added the opportunity for personal one-on-one coaching with either me or my team, where we will delve into your specific case and provide that concrete feedback on how we can optimize your online store and strategy so you can get to those 100,000 euros every single month as fast as possible. You even get access to the entire internal infrastructure that I've spent millions building, ensuring that my online store could generate over those 70-80 million euros with a system in place, making sure you've got the backend and team to help you scale to those millions. Furthermore, you get access to my private network and business connections, giving you simply and honestly an unfair advantage over your competitors, as you can leverage those connections to secure better deals and outsource all of the things you don't want to handle, making sure your business runs on autopilot and gives you the freedom you desire. You get digital marketing blueprints from Denmark's leading agencies with knowledge and frameworks and scripts that my partner Isha and I have spent over 250 million Danish kroner in ad spend, tailoring and making to perfection, making sure once again you've got the best possible marketing strategies available. And trust me when I'm saying that this is not basic. This will even help you avoid paying high fees to agencies for running your ads, since you can do it yourself just as well. Besides that, you get access to that 3PL I told you about, which will handle a large part of your logistical groundwork while getting the best shipping and warehousing prices in the world. And I'm not kidding here. I've not seen any prices here come close to what we charge. The prices you will get access to usually require an online store generating many millions yearly in revenue. But no matter your level, you can get onto our warehouse. Finally, you get an ambitious e-commerce community, giving you new connections and feedback, as well as new friendships with some of Europe's biggest talents in e-commerce and marketing. And that in itself is invaluable. For a total value of I don't know how much, but we've literally spent hundreds of millions gathering this knowledge and distilling it into digestible step-by-step frameworks that you can simply follow. The good news though is that you don't have to spend those 300 million Danish kroner to get this knowledge, because we deliver it to you in concrete guides that you can simply plug and play into your business. So perhaps your final question, how much is the investment? And the very honest reason for making this live training with you here today was, one, to give you some knowledge that you can go out and implement, but also because we have, as of today, got space for another 20 people to join Scaling with Ecom with us. The investment of enrolling in Scaling with Ecom depends on how closely you want to work with me and my mentors. We've even got a solution where we build the entire site for you and deliver the products. But our basic, most popular solution starts from 4,000 euros. And if you're the correct fit, you can even pay in installments. To be very honest with you once again, the very reason I'm selling this so cheaply right now is that I want more success cases in the program, so that we can gradually raise the price further of the program to what I sincerely think it's worth. And trust me when I say that I know the quality of this program over delivers on all parameters. And that's also why you get a 100% satisfaction guarantee or your money back if you are not satisfied for some strange reason. Finally, if you are serious about taking that next step, and if you've seen this entire guide to end, you've right now got the opportunity to book a clarification call with either me or my colleague, where we honestly will assess whether you're able to create that next $1 million business with our framework. It's no secret that the number one thing that promotes my program is getting you guys to succeed. So we will be honest on these calls and judge whether we think you're able to do it. So therefore, we are only interested in getting success stories in. And we hope that in a few months, like many of our other students, you will share your story about how this program gave you the financial freedom that you wanted. So Right now, as I said, we're ready to take on another 20 students. So if you're one of those 20 that really want to succeed and who's ready to put in hard work and change your life, well, then this opportunity is for you. On this page, you've got the option to book a call, and I hope to talk to you soon.